Hi, good evening, everybody. I'm Venerable Calvin, and today is Saturday, February the 13th, 2021. Uh, Before I start this video, I'd like to give respects to the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha, and I'd like to pay respects to the viewers, to my family, to the Prebuddha Rangse Temple, and to anybody who's watching. Now, to start off with the video, I actually forgot. Please hit like, comment, and subscribe. So, anyways, before I begin this video, I'd like to read a quote to you guys. So, this quote says, "Hatred in the world is indeed never appeased by hatred. It is appeased only by loving kindness. This is an ancient law." Now, what that means is that you cannot have hatred in your heart to put out hatred, just like you cannot have fire to put out fire. I mean, you cannot have gasoline to put out the fire. The only way to put out the fire is to have water, to have the opposite of something to put out something. So the opposite of hatred is loving kindness. And the reason why that is because you have hatred in your heart and you spread the hatred around you, and that hatred keeps growing, and that other person starts getting hatred. It keeps growing, and now you have a war and there's no peace, and the only way to end the war is to have peace. That's why they call it a peace treaty. They don't call it a violent treaty, they call it a peace treaty. If they called it a violent treaty, then it wouldn't really be much of a treaty. But anyways, so there's a story of the lady and the ogress. Now, in the story of the lady and the ogress, a man becomes impatient with his first wife because she is unable to bear children. So his first wife tells him to get a second wife. So he goes out, gets a second wife, and she becomes pregnant. And when she becomes pregnant, the first wife actually gets jealous. So the first wife starts poisoning the second wife. And the second wife later on realizes that the first wife poisoned her. So being unable to do anything about it, she swore revenge to get revenge on the first wife. So in the next life, they were reborn as a leopardess and a doe, a cat and a hen, and finally they were born as one is reborn as a daughter of a nobleman, and the other one was reborn as an ogress. And each time that they were born, they kept going after each other's offspring because of the hatred that they had in their heart and the jealousy that they had in their heart. And when they were finally reborn as a daughter of a nobleman and an ogress, they came upon the Buddha, and the Buddha told them the reason why they were killing each other was because of what happened during the previous lives. And he told them that the only way to get rid of the vengeance that they kept unleashing upon each other is to make peace with each other. And I tell this story because it goes with the quote, hatred is indeed never appeased by hatred, it is appeased by loving kindness. Like there's back in the 70s, there was this gang. It was called the Crips, and they were formed to protect the community, but then they started to terrorize their neighborhood. So in order to stop the terrorization, the Bloods were formed. And from then on, they kept fighting each other, and they're still fighting each other till this day. there's no place in the world for hatred, because when you have hatred in your heart, you spread the hatred. Like I said earlier, you're trying to kill somebody, you're trying to hurt somebody, and that somebody is trying to hurt you. And it not only hurts you, and it not only hurts the other person, it hurts everybody else around you. Like with the story with the lady and the ogress, they hated each other so much that their offsprings actually started to pay the consequences for both of their actions. And their offsprings actually had nothing to do with it, because their offsprings were babies to begin with. But they hated each other so much that they were willing to let other people suffer. So hatred not only hurts you, but it hurts other people around you. So the only way to stop hatred is to spread peace and loving kindness. Now I keep saying that, like, it doesn't mean that, peace, love, joy, happiness, doesn't mean you have to hug them. It doesn't mean you have to like the person. It just means that you just have to, what's the word I'm looking for? You just have to give them the basic need, or give them the basic, just give them the basic need, like the doctor. Doctor, he gives an injection to one of his patients, and one of his patients is hurt and he screams, but the doctor doesn't get mad. The doctor doesn't hate him. I mean, even if the doctor does, the doctor can't kick that person out of the hospital. The doctor still has to keep caring for that person, and to love somebody doesn't mean you have to like them. It just means that you have to care for them. Like whenever they're in need, you have to go and help them out. Whenever they're in trouble, you have to go and help them out. Like a lawyer, a lawyer can't say that he hates his client. He doesn't like his client. The client needs help. So that lawyer still has to help the client out, no matter what the lawyer feels about that person. Just like the doctor has to help out the patient. The doctor doesn't have to like the patient, but he has to help the patient in order to feel better, or not to feel better, but in order for that person to get better. It's like the crabs in the bucket mentality. How with the crabs, and they're all in a bucket, they want to reach the top, so they keep grabbing on one another, but none of them ever reach the top because they keep pulling each other down. The only way you reach the top is if you help other people go to the top. And that's why I'm going to end this video with Adama saying, Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa bhavato sabba mangala. No, I'm sorry. I'm really tired today. Bhavato sabba mangalam. It means that I want everybody to spread loving kindness. I want everybody to spread peace. I want everybody to spread joy and happiness. And I want everybody to have sympathy for other people, or to have empathy for other people. Just because you don't like the other person doesn't mean that you can't spread loving kindness to other people. And to have loving kindness, you have to have loving kindness from within yourself. And the only way to have loving kindness within yourself is to realize why I'm reacting this way, to realize that sometimes a situation is really not about you. There are other things that are going on in a person's life, and you just happen to be in the middle of it. Stop think, reassess the situation, and sympathize with the person. Like earlier today, I thought somebody was talking about me, and I was so pissed, I was so angry that I actually wanted to grab a fork and throw it at him. But my mentor, he was telling me that you can't look at things and see it for what it is. Sometimes there's things behind that. Like, if you look at the sky, you think that you could reach the sky, but if you try to go up in the sky, you can't really reach the sky. The sky keeps going on forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. So stop, reassess the situation, and spread peace, loving, joy, kindness, because everything starts with you. You're imitation of the universe, and you're the witness of the universe. You're a witness to your own world. And if you have hatred in your heart, that means that your whole worldview is blinding. And the only way to release that blinders is to open the blinders and to see the actual truth. So please, everybody, go out, help your neighbors, help your friends. If they're in need, help them, spread joy, love, and kindness, and I will see you next week. And don't forget to please like, comment, and subscribe down below. Thank you so much.